Hi everybody, this is Steph Unthank from Infinity Wellness, and today I'm joined by a colleague of mine, Jennifer McDiarmid. And Jennifer, it's just absolutely lovely to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
I feel blessed.
Thank
I feel
you.
blessed that we're here today on the screen and we're recording this video cast. And yeah, we're going to start looking at a few themes and topics over the next couple of weeks and then putting those live for people to look at. But do you want to tell us a bit about you first?
Yeah, of course. I am Jen McDiarmid, as Steph has just said, and I'm a nutritional therapist working with people on a one-to-one basis, but really actually now moving the business to focus on corporate well-being. So looking at how we can really try to use some very simple nutritional strategies to really, help support employee physical and emotional well-being. So, and that's sort of how we met, was through this shared link of the business well-being. Really.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, it's going to be so good to work with you going forward. I'm really excited.
Me too.
Yeah, really excited. One of the things that you and I have been talking about a bit, building up to being ready for today, was something that I actually posted on in LinkedIn about 3 weeks ago now, and that was the menopause and the subject of the menopause. And I don't know if you saw it, Jen, but I think about 4 weeks ago now, Davina McCall recorded and went out there with this documentary around sex myths and the menopause, and it felt a little bit like a pivot point for women in the UK, because it's the first time, certainly for me, that I've seen somebody like her in a celebrity of that status, that ilk, out there talking about the effects of menopause. Absolutely. And there was a few things that came up in that programme that really kind of resonated, hugely resonated. And I think firstly, and I obviously don't mind sharing this because it's something that I'm going through at the moment, right? So I've just turned 46, I'm perimenopause, and a lot of the things that she talked about in terms of symptoms and effects, let's say, of the menopause, that really resonated with me. Yeah. There were things like some of the things that she talked about in terms of the fact that I get quite jumpy, achy legs, and muscles can, the way that our muscles react to the menopause, bones and muscle structure. So that kind of really hit a spot for me. Then some stuff around mind fog. And, you can be quite forgetful, or, you can feel a bit hazy, like a mind haze, mind fog. And that one, that really that helped me actually to realise that it wasn't me going crazy. Yeah. And then obviously there's some of the things that maybe women talk about a bit more, which is these kind of, you've never had an anxiety attack in your life, and all of a sudden you're having anxiety attacks, you're having these moments of worry and concern and, getting yourself kind of really wound up. And then there's something for me about body and body shape. And we talked about this last week, how I'm having to accept the fact that even though my diet hasn't changed very much, my body shape is changing. Yeah. And it's kind of, I look in the mirror and I kind of go, wow, this is different. So so really interesting time of our lives, I think, for women sort of over 40. Absolutely. In the main. I know some women go through it earlier. Yeah, I know that your stance on this from a nutrition perspective, conversations that you and I have had leading up to now, for me, have been mind-blowing, because I don't think women think about nutrition when it comes to the menopause and how getting nutrition right, and really think about the balance of some of the kind of nutritional elements in diet. I'm not sure how much A, we think about it, and B, we know about it. Yeah. So what can you tell us? How can you help us all?
I mean, you're completely right. I think that program with Davina was really huge, because actually so many people struggle. I think we talked, it's like 51% of people will go through the menopause in the UK, but actually it's like a subject that nobody will talk about. People almost feel embarrassed to say, I'm going through the menopause, I'm really struggling. But like you've just said, it actually impacts every aspect of people's lives. And even if you're not going through it, you might have a partner who's going through it, or a friend. So it's really huge. And actually, we really want to change it. So it's a conversation people can have and really say, it is affecting my sleep, my mental health, my physical health, my concentration, my mood. So many different aspects can be affected by it. We have spoken about this before, and I think we've both agreed that given the opportunity, we could probably talk about this for hours. So I've tried to like think about from a nutritional point of view, like what quick takeaways people could actually have just to maybe try and empower themselves a bit to think, well, actually, this is some stuff that I can do that is based on science, not some crazy diet that somebody's trying to recommend. So I would say we were thinking about like some of the biggest players of what you could look at introducing into your eating pattern to support yourself. The first thing I would say is to think about getting your levels of vitamin D checked. So vitamin D is a really important vitamin, but it's called the sunshine vitamin. So it means that we only really absorb it into our body through the reaction of sunshine on our skin. Now it is lovely weather at the moment recording this, but I think we all know the weather's been a little bit rubbish. And actually we tend to have very long autumn, winter months, which means they actually estimate around 90% of the UK population are vitamin D deficient. So if you get your levels checked, not only can it help with hormone production, so if we want to think about supporting these hormone levels that can start to dip down during the menopause, having the right level of vitamin D in your body is really important. But actually, when vitamin D levels start to go quite low, you can notice you get quite lethargic, your energy levels start to drop down, your brain function starts to slow down, and people can just generally start to feel flat, start to feel quite low. So not only can it help with symptoms of the menopause, but also help with hormone production as well. So I think about that as the first one to get checked. The next key nutrient I'd think about is one that we've spoken about again before, which is your magnesium. And magnesium is really, really important for helping people who maybe are starting to feel a bit more anxious, people who are maybe starting to get the muscle fatigue, the muscle ache, the twitchy legs situation. And magnesium is brilliant because it just helps to calm the nervous system. It helps to relax muscles. It helps to relax everything in the body to support that. So look at green leafy vegetables, look at nuts, look at seeds, even meat and dairy products will contain a little bit of magnesium, or simply get some Epsom salts from the supermarket, pop those in the bath. And when it's not too hot, you can have a bath in the evenings and you'll absorb that magnesium straight into your muscles, straight to helping all of that soreness, the twitchiness and the pain that you can start to experience during the menopause. And then the last couple of ones that I would say would be thinking about cruciferous vegetables. So these are your, well, for want of a better word, your windy vegetables. So your broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, all of those ones that can make us a bit flatulent. But they've actually contained a brilliant little compound called indole 3-carbinol, and that is amazing at helping the body to produce more of the lovely calm progesterone and estrogen, and they're the hormones that can start to drop down. So starting to increase eating some more of those, checking how your bowel movements work on the back of them can really help. And then the last one that I would say is just your omega-3, which is one of the essential fatty acids. You're thinking walnuts, you're thinking like Mediterranean eating, thinking olives, thinking flax seeds, chia seeds, all of those group of things. And that is brilliant for two reasons for the menopause. One, it's great at bringing down inflammation in the body. So again, if people notice that they're starting to get more achy, more stiff joints, stiff muscles when going through the menopause, it can really help to reduce that happening. But actually, again, omega-3 is brilliant at giving the body compounds to help produce some of those hormones that can start to drop down. I know I'm talking away here. You mentioned about the body shape changing and can change. People don't always realize it's actually all to do with your levels of estrogen dropping down. So if you aren't going through the menopause, you produce most of your estrogen in your ovaries. But as we start to become perimenopausal and menopausal, those levels of estrogen can start to dip down. Your body will use your adrenal glands as the backup sort of manufacturer for estrogen. However, how many of us feel stressed? How many people who are perimenopausal have got lots of stress going on? You've got lots of stress, your adrenal glands are burdened, so they can't produce enough stress hormones, let enough estrogen to help support the body. So your body will go, can't produce it in the ovaries, can't produce it in the adrenal glands. We need to produce the final backup version for it. And so your body will start to store fat cells, because fat is where we produce hormones from. So the reason people can notice their body shape start to change, especially around sort of the waist area, simply because it can't produce enough of the hormones. So make some of these nutritional changes, support your stress levels and your adrenal glands, and then you'll notice actually your body will start to change back to the shape it was before. And it's simply because you've helped balance the hormone levels.
Wow.
A lot of information there. Sorry, Steph.
No, it's brilliant. I mean, it's great amount of information. And I think the good thing is that people will be able to watch this, make a few notes, think about some of the changes that they might want to make, things that they might want to integrate into their day-to-day life.
Absolutely.
That last part that you just said about, you know, actually, if you notice that your body shape is changing, that's fascinating, actually, that you go from your ovaries to your adrenal glands to actually making the changes in your diet. And that can support that change or reverse maybe what's going on to some degree. Yeah.
Absolutely. And otherwise, all it does is create more stress for people. People are thinking, you know, I'm putting on body weight. I never used to have this shape. What am I going to do? You end up having calorie deficit. You end up cutting out major food groups. And actually then just become more deficient in the nutrients your body needs. So your body actually ends up putting on even more weight and you feel really miserable because you can't eat anything. Yeah. So that is the symptom. Deal with the underlying cause and the symptom will go, well, you've made the imbalances rebalanced.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Perfect. Yeah. Lovely. I've got just one question, if that's okay. So I mentioned earlier about, you know, women over 40. And obviously with that appreciation that there are younger women that do go through the menopause early. Yeah, absolutely. But it might feel, it feels a bit easy for me to say, well, actually, if you just did this the whole time, right? Or some of your things that you've talked about, the things that you could integrate, the changes that you could make. But let's say that, you know what it's like, you know, women in their 30s, they're living their life, they're with their girlfriends, they're out down the pubs and in the bars and, you know, out eating lovely food, going on holiday when we're allowed to again, all of that kind of thing, right? But you do get to your 40s, I think. I don't know if this is something that resonates with other women that are watching this. You do get to your 40s, and I'm a big believer life does begin at 40 and things really do change. You start to feel like you're in control a bit more some of the time, you know. But as you move through your 40s, is there a good time to make these changes, would you say? I mean, when, you know, if I could live my last 6 or 10 years over again, what advice would you have given me from sort of mid-30s to now?
Do you know what? I would say, unless you were starting to really notice any of these symptoms creeping up, just do what you would do. I would always say, you know, 80% of the time, nourish your body as best you can, thinking about fruits, vegetables, hydration, protein, the essential fats, trying to reduce sugar intake down as much as you can, but still enjoying living life. So actually you're giving your body all the compounds that it needs. And then I would say, once you start to maybe mid-40s, start to think about maybe going more protein-based from vegetable sources to get some things called phytoestrogens. Maybe start to think about your stress levels, thinking about different lifestyle factors to reduce it down, because the last thing you want to do is be going along feeling great, then all of a sudden lots of people can really crash and really feel those symptoms in an overwhelming way, and then you're almost trying to fight something that's already happened. But actually thinking about some of these changes before you sort of hit that crash can be really positive and powerful to stop you actually having that sensation of like falling off a cliff, like lots of people really can emotionally and physically when the menopause can really kick in.
Yeah, I get that. It's just that piece for me around, you know, the build up to that moment. It can be a bit overwhelming when you've got to make so many changes, you know, or you feel like, sorry, let me rephrase that. You feel like you've got to make a lot of changes quite quickly. And actually you're shifting your lifestyle from being one thing to something else. And I think what's really important is finding more sustainable ways longer term so that the shift doesn't feel as dramatic.
Absolutely. And you can totally do that. It could be the sort of things of thinking, well, actually, I want to boost up my omega-3. I don't really like oily fish. I know I don't have much going on in my diet, so I'm going to focus on that one. But actually, I already eat lots of the cauliflowers and broccolis and things like that. So that's not a prominent one for me. So from what we've talked about, different people will need to focus on different things first. So don't feel you've got to go away and change it all. And it can be as simple as having a spoonful of ground flaxseed in your porridge at breakfast. So you're making one change a day. You keep the rest of your eating pattern the same, but fundamentally you're giving your body omega-3 every day. That starts to build up and will really make a difference. So it really can be a small change with the rest of your eating pattern stay the same. Get that one sorted, then focus on thinking about cruciferous vegetables or thinking about Epsom salts in the bath at night. So just do it in a slow staged way. Your body will really respond, but you don't get all of that stress of feeling like you're going on a diet, because diets do not work at all. Don't ever do it.
Oh, you're a woman after my own heart. And on that note, on that note, I think it's a really positive way to end, actually. So yeah, you know, we're going to post this content out on LinkedIn, but we're also going to add it to YouTube. So do look us up on YouTube, and don't forget to like and comment. Please comment, share the content. You know, if you know somebody in your life, your social circles at work, that you think this content would be really useful for, then please share the content. And don't forget to subscribe so that you see the next video cast that comes up automatically in your notifications, your YouTube notifications. But for today, thanks so much, Jen. You've been a star. And wow, I mean, what you know just blows me away. So I'm really looking forward to working more. It's brilliant.
Thanks so much, Steph.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.